certainly insulting anybody. We are calling on the presidency and the federal government to change their style. Whenever a policy is not popular, they should listen to people. They should not be arrogant and thinking that whatever they can, it must be. This is not an oligarchy.
Okay, now that we have Tinubu, let us give him a space. We as Nigerian, we withdrew our citizens and even some Nigerian citizens from these localities because France started bringing unrest to those places. But now France have been able to occupy, of course, which are officially approved by the current administration for a token. The government is fully aware of this. However, they are planning to disguise the current presence of the French military, who are planning to establish big companies around Mongunu, and they will masquerade these companies in Maiduguri down to Kaduna. They are going to disguise this company as a Canadian company. We are only saying this against the France because we know them, we have dealt with them, and they do not have the interest of their host African country at heart. Welcome. I haven't watched that video, two separate videos, where in one, the Nigerian president exposing, shouting and screaming that Tinubu is about to exchange, like trade by barter, the northern Nigerian people for France to come in. And then in the second video, we can see Bala Mohammed also screaming and saying, Tinubu, review your tax policies. Now, there are rumors that the northern governors are planning a huge protest, a huge rebellion against the current administration to, by every stances, declare why the France are in the northern Nigeria. At this stage, I think it is becoming clear that the president of Tinubu is working with Western powers. He is not just only working with IMF, he's also working with France to ensure that he furthers his own empire. His best business ally is a French guy, Chaguri. And I want to believe that this recent affiliation with Macron, the president of France, or is it the prime minister of France, was facilitated by Chaguri. So there are many instances that is showing that Nigeria is moving towards destruction. The Northerners today are now beginning to get more enlightened and more, exposed to the hidden agenda of France, which is openly pushed by Tinubu. Was it not just a few months ago we saw the 3 key West African states, they got out, exited the ECOWAS, and they have now formed what we call the Alliance of the Sahel. All of them submitted the same complaint to the ECOWAS body, saying that France has been stealing from them. France has been dictating to them how they will govern themselves. So therefore, they have to send France away. Following that exit, Senegal has instructed the France troops to exit their soil. Cote d'Ivoire has done the same. Ghana is about to do the same. However, Nigeria is absorbing France. You can see how Nigeria is just standing on what we call a ticking time bomb. Tinubu is simply after his own personal interest. This is not an issue of national interest. Since yesterday, immediately, this military junta leader of Niger has released this video that we showed at the early stage of this video. Tinubu and his media aides have been working non-stop to, to market the guy. They are saying it is all fallacies, that it is because his country is unstable, it is because his country is destabilized, so he's doing everything possible to instigate Nigerians, to instigate the northern Nigerians that will also destabilize the Nigerian people, so that they can also extend that destabilization down to the south. Well, for me, the point is, Tinubu is not transparent. Tinubu does not speak the truth. Tinubu does not say things as it were. If Tinubu tell you good morning, you should understand that you are currently at night. The Tinubu that gave the biggest slumber in his media chat, stating that his friends have now devalued their lifestyle from driving Lexus to Honda. However, he upgraded himself to an Escalade. He upgraded his own self from a jet to an Airbus. And then you want me to believe that? A man who came out of Nigerians are suffering. But again, he gave his wife billions. He gave his vice president billions. He gave his cohorts in the government billions, 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 billions. And you expect me as a critical thinker to accept his statements as statement of fact? Hell no. At this stage, I think there is an iota of truth in what the Nigerian man has said. There are some videos that we saw that the French troops were practicing. I mean, they were going into some military drills with the Nigerian armies in the core north. Right? Now, why will these guys just come in, practice, and not have a base? Is it just a 1 week practice and then they leave? Or is it a consistent practice? Now, these are the issues. If this president is ready to be transparent, if the National Security Advisor, the Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Defense Staff, if they were transparent, if they were saying the truth, these are the facts they ought to be there before now. But again, they are working in secrecy, like we are in a secret court. When that video, became viral on the social media and people started saying that, are we seeing that France is now in Nigeria? Because it was just shortly after Tinubu went to France and he had that massive, lavish, entry. He was welcomed like a king. He spent about 3 days there. So we started sensing that there is something underneath this visit. Because it is unheard for. It is unheard of that France left all these 3 key elements that have formed an alliance called Alliance of Sahel. But now, they've suddenly found a friend in Nigeria. They are now even entertaining our president like a king. So it is interesting how the president wants to convince we, the people. It is interesting how Tinubu wants to come out and say that there is nothing in return for what he got in France. It is interesting how Tinubu will come out and say that everything that the current president of Niger said is false without presenting any fact. These guys specifically mentioned some locations. He mentioned Mongunu, he mentioned some places in Kaduna, he mentioned some places along Borno. Now, what the president of Nigeria, if they were truth saying presidency, how to do is those locations. Why don't you give us an aerial view of it? Like, these are the places these guys have mentioned. Can we see? Nobody is there. Because some people who live in Borno are saying that the French military base right now is being constructed. And around these places, there are going to be companies that will be mining natural resources. Lithium, californium, and coal. So, if what is coming does not get exposed by truth, then these lies of the Niger president will continue to fester, as they say it is. And because the president of Nigeria is saying he's lying, right? Then present us the truth. Yeah, to expose the lies. But when you cannot present the truth, then you should know that the lies will fester. And then the lies will become the truth. On the other news, the northern Nigerians are now fully charged up that they cannot be sacrificial lamb. They cannot be a negotiating tool by Tinubu, who apparently wants to put them in a state of destabilization. First and foremost, his policies has thrown poverty into the society. His policy has thrown hunger into the society. So now you are now working with France. France, who are very bloody colonial masters. France are the most, when we talk about the most wicked, right? These guys do not give a damn about their host communities. They are just very selfish and very inhumane. They don't give a damn. Go and check what France did to Algeria and Co when they were seeking for their independence. They were killed openly and televised. So Nigerians, northern Nigerians, must speak up. They must resist. The only thing that will let them help, probably persuade them to lay down their voices or reduce their voices is fact with truth. The president releasing some communique saying that no, we are not having any military base, it is all lies, it's not enough. There is need to have empirical evidence. But why the North is battling with the France incursion? Well, the Southwest particularly are also fighting with the Fulani religion conquest. In the Southwest now, the Fulani are planning to extend their Sharia across board because they are supporting those unsuspecting and naive Yoruba Muslims who are now religious bigots and religious extremists who think that Sharia law will only become a thing of the Muslims when nobody is going to have a Christian on his head that is a Muslim. If by mistake I put on a jalamia and I am seen drinking alcohol, the Sharia police will just pick me up and who knows what might happen to me. Before I could say that, hello, I am not a Muslim, they might have dealt with me. So we can see how this game of chess is being played. The only people who are exempted in this pandemonium, of course, are the South and the Southeast. The North right now is completely ravaged by the Boko Haram, who are in fact now using drones. Imagine, terrorists are now using drones to attack military camps, villages. And I said it in the past. Like I was a soothsayer. I said the very day I knew these Boko Harams are becoming sophisticated, when I saw a video, they were in the bush, in their desert, and they were just testing a drone. They flew it up to the sky, hovered it around, and brought it back to the home territory. And then I came online, I screamed and I shouted. I said, Tinubu must do something. These guys, God forbid, will start taking a whole community hostage. Imagine, they just come to Oyo State and then they map out an area that they have about 100 drones that will fly in and bomb everywhere if a certain amount of money is not provided. They don't even have to come in person anymore. You can see how sophisticated they are becoming. They don't have to come in person. All they have to do is they want to send a bomb to Oyo. They can outrightly stay in Zampisa forest and the drone will fly all the way down to Oyo State. I am simply telling you how sophisticated they are and how, like a bicycle, how incompetent the military has become. It is an embarrassing moment right now to be in Nigeria that the bandits, right, are now using drones. This did not even happen in Syria, where the rebels just toppled the current government. It didn't happen there. The rebels didn't have the capacity to pilot drones. But in Nigeria today, we can now see that the bandits are now flying drones above the northern Nigerians, bombing everywhere. In a critical state that we are, the president is in Lagos, enjoying himself, having fun. If there's anything the president ought to have done was to cancel his vacation. Yeah, because Nigeria as it stands today, whoever wants to lead this country does not deserve a vacation. You don't, because the state of the country is not peaceful. Everywhere is in a rancorous state. Look at the northern state. The bandits are now flying drones. They are building capacity. They are building their technological advancement. What the president should do, they are not doing it, but they are partying around. We just saw a picture of Wike with his two sons going to visit the Tinubu in his own palace at Babylon. What does that signify? It only identifies that, okay, now my children are next in line. This is what they are busy with. But of course, the Nigerian people who are suffering are quiet and unconcerned. We don't enter one chance. We as Nigerians, with this current president of the day, we don't enter one chance. Thank you. Kindly subscribe, share, and like this video. Bye for now.